You guys, Halo Infinite doesn't come out until 2021, but we've already got Nerf blasters for the new weapons. Let's unbox and fire them. Alright, so this is the new Bulldog SG, and this is the Mangler. Both are brand new additions to your arsenal in the upcoming Halo Infinite. We've seen them in action in the gameplay trailer that was released back in July, and now Nerf just announced that they have blasters for both releasing in early 2021. We were lucky enough to get some early samples, so let's open them up and finish the fight. Again. Let's start with the one you saw at the beginning of the video, the Bulldog SG. In fact, it's probably the one you came for, right? It's the cooler looking one in my opinion. As is customary with any unboxing video, let's start by looking at the artwork. I won't spend too much time on it though, because there will be photos on CNET.com. I'm just gonna point out some of the important parts, like the fact that this blaster has a drum that carries 10 darts. On the back, there's a few features highlighted, like the tactical rail with pop-up sights, the pump action handle, and the aforementioned 10-dart drum. And over here are both newly announced blasters. One of the coolest parts about buying these is they actually include download codes to unlock these Nerf blasters in-game. So if you want these specific weapons to look less lethal and more playful, that's gonna be an option to you. Enough about the box though, let's open it up. Just gonna use the blade to cut the tape off. So first thing out of the box is the 10-dart drum. There it is. And a package of darts. This drum holds 10 darts, so I imagine there's 10 in here. Now let's load it up so I don't lose these darts in the process of unboxing this blaster. Ah, much better. And now the moment you've all been waiting for. Here it is. With lots of extra cardboard and paper. Not very smooth. Before we assemble this, dig into it, let's see what's inside of here. Here's the card that would have the digital download printed on it. Because this is a sample unit, I don't actually have a code right now, but that will be there if you bought this blaster in store. And of course, there's an instructions manual, so I'm gonna take a look at this really quick to make sure I'm assembling this properly and that I don't break it. Now that the paperwork is done, let's take a look at the fun part, the actual blaster. I'm gonna first load the magazine, which I believe I actually was supposed to do before loading the darts. All right, back to square one. Let's load the drum into the blaster. To do so, I need to slide it into this compartment, and there's this little orange catch, which I believe is used to rotate the drum when you prime it. So let's do that without breaking anything. I feel like I'm gonna break it if I do this. There we go. It did sound kind of forceful, but I think it's okay. Now we load the darts. Put them in here. One at a time. Now here's the complicated part. The last 3 darts go into the part of the drum that's obscured by the barrel of the blaster. And so the instructions manual says I need to manually rotate the drum to be able to slide the darts in. Let's give that a try. Ugh. Oh, I don't like the sound of that. I think I need to do it one more time though, just to expose it. Ooh. So without any kind of release to slide the drum out and having to do that every time I load darts into it, I feel like this is gonna break over time. Who knows though, maybe I'm wrong. At least we got the last 3 darts in for this video. All right, so let's take a look now that it's all assembled. It's a pretty nice looking blaster. I like that it has 2 handles. It's got a nice stock to put your shoulder against, even though there's not really any kick on a Nerf blaster. Here's the tactical rail with sights. The sights are pretty much pointless considering how inaccurate Nerf blasters are. But again, this pump action handle is really cool. I'm a big fan of mechanical Nerf blasters as opposed to electric ones because as a kid, batteries were always my biggest enemy. If your toy ran out of batteries, that means you couldn't play anymore that day. So subconsciously, I've always gravitated towards mechanical Nerf blasters. Let's prime it for the first time with actual darts inside to see how the drum rotates. Ah, that's so satisfying. And now let's fire for the first time. I'm gonna take this outside to see just how far the darts travel, but for now, so good, so good. The first fire is always so satisfying. Now that we've taken a look at the awesome Bulldog SG, let's check out this smaller Covenant weapon, the Mangler. The Mangler only carries 6 darts as opposed to the Bulldog SG's 10, but it's supposed to be a more compact weapon. However, according to the trailer we saw, the Mangler in-game actually carries 8 rounds. So a little bit of a compromise on design there. Let's take a look at the back. It's not as complicated of a blaster, so there's not as many details here. One thing to note though is this packaging actually shows the MA40 on the back, which is a pretty well-known weapon if you're familiar with Halo. That is one electronic Nerf blaster that I did wish I had. All right, no more delays. Let's open this up. Cut the tape. So you know this is officially unboxed. Let's get this packaging out of here. Blaster first. Oh yeah. We've got the digital download code for this specific blaster. There's the Mangler. 6 darts. You always get the bare minimum because I guess foam is expensive. Half of a drum. Aesthetics anyways. The other half. Is there instructions missing? Nothing. Maybe they just weren't ready yet. We'll just wing it. Open the darts first. Okay. Just like the Bulldog, it does not appear as if there's a release for the drum, so it's all just loaded in while sliding. This one has a lot less resistance when you slide it. I do not feel like it will break as easily as the Bulldog. So if that's important in your consideration of which one to get, if you're not getting both, I just want to, let me do that for you a little more carefully. So look at. Now let's compare it to the drum on the SG when you rotate it. Still hurts. It it hurts my skull. Just to show you going the opposite direction, it's not any better. All right, darts loaded into the Mangler. Let's put the external covering on it. There's little ridges to line it up. Okay. Even though the drum rotates a little bit better, it doesn't seem as easy to load. If you can see, you got like this tiny little space to put 1 dart in at a time on either side. So it's really gonna be like 1 dart at a time and then kind of shimmying your hand to try to rotate it like that. Because of that extra hassle, this might not be the best blaster for a Nerf war. This little orange piece that jettisons out of the bottom of the barrel, just aesthetics. I'm assuming in the game it's good for bashing Marines, because this is a Covenant weapon after all. The detail on this one's a little more interesting. It's got that crude wrap around the handle. The way you prime it is the lever back here. So you give it a pull, and then firing. Oh. So it's a pretty standard one-handed Nerf blaster. I will say it does look and feel a little bit bulkier than the Mangler in the game. And maybe that's just to make it look even more toy-like so it doesn't fool anyone into thinking it's an actual weapon. Let's hold it side by side to the Bulldog. As you can see, it's almost as large, just not as long. In fact, it is taller with that extra little wing at the bottom. So if I had to choose between the two, I think I'd go with the Bulldog even with that drum. Mostly just because it feels way cooler to hold these with 2 hands, and priming this feels way more satisfying than priming this one. Let's do it one more time. Only thing left to do is to take these outside and see how far they fire. 10 rounds, here we go. Firing all of them. I brought a tape measure just so we can get an accurate measurement. Looks like the average one went about 30 feet. Nice. Something I just noticed is that the color of the darts for each gun is different. The Bulldog SG has the green darts for the Marines, and the Mangler has black darts for the Covenant. Pretty cool little detail. All right, Mangler time. Remember, we get 6 shots with this one. Ooh, much further. Overall, those seem to travel a little further than the Bulldog SG. I only have a 30-foot tape measure, so we'll just say it went more than 30 feet. And there you have it, the Bulldog SG and the Mangler. What video games do you think they can make other Nerf blasters out of? Let me know down in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to CNET for more Xbox, Halo, Nerf, all the good stuff. We'll see you next time.